Getting a little bit of a later start than usual today. I hope you guys enjoyed your holiday weekend. Me personally, I'm glad it's over. I'm ready for people to go back to work so I can have the golf course all to myself again. But let's go ahead and get into everything. There is a time and a place for everything. In life, when you really think about it, timing is everything. You ever hear someone talking about the one that got away? How they were in a relationship with someone, it didn't work out, and years later, they're still regretting it? The timing wasn't right. Maybe they weren't mature enough at the time, circumstances in life weren't right. There are a variety of issues that you could choose from. What about the phrase, he is ahead of his time? I remember back when T.I.'s first album came out, I think it was 2001. It flopped. It was a commercial failure. It was relatively big down here in the South, but back in 2001, T.I., he was still viewed as a regional artist. Many critics at the time said he was ahead of his time. It wasn't the right time for his career to take off. Just like with anything else, there is a time and place for protesting. That time and place is not during an NBA playoff game. I understand why Direct Action Everywhere thought this would be a good idea. There are more eyes on the NBA right now than any other point during the year. I am interested to see how the ratings are going to shape out this weekend for the NBA playoffs. So far, the first round, I think it's been phenomenal. We'll get into the ratings later this week. But right now, potentially, millions of people are watching the NBA. So if you have a cause that you're fighting for, that you really believe in, theoretically, you could get your message across to millions of people right now. And on one hand, if that was the purpose of these protests, it worked. But the thing is your message being received? Or how is your message being received? I'm getting a little bit ahead of myself. Let me tell you what's been going on this last week in the NBA. Tuesday night, during the Clippers T-Wolves play-in game, Alicia Santurio superglued her ass to the court. As you can see, Patrick Beverley is just standing there dumbfounded. What the fuck is this woman doing? She was protesting, of course, and what an effective way to protest. Alicia Santurio, along with the group Direct Action Everywhere, they are pissed off at Minnesota Timberwolves owner Glen Taylor. You can't really see it in the picture, but she's wearing a t-shirt that says, Glen Taylor roast animals alive. Apparently, there was an investigation Tuesday, and it was allegedly discovered that Glen Taylor's factory killed 5 million birds via ventilation shutdown. I didn't know what the fuck that meant, so I looked it up. Ventilation shutdown is when you suspend atmospheric air in buildings where birds are housed. Essentially, what that means, the birds, they die either of hypothermia or extreme heat. If the idea Tuesday night was to bring national attention to Direct Action Everywhere, it worked. This story was all over the news on Wednesday and yesterday and today, which inspired another protest from the same group yesterday during Game 1 of the T-Wolves Grizzlies series. It wasn't Alicia Santurio this time, though. She was either still in jail or couldn't afford the plane ticket from Minneapolis to Memphis. Since the city of Minneapolis was the center of the defund the police movement and one of those cool, woke cities where it's legal to commit crime, my guess is Alicia Santurio's fucking broke and couldn't afford the flight. She's already out of jail. But that's okay. That's okay. Don't worry. Direct Action Everywhere is literally everywhere. They're a national organization. They have unattractive women placed all over the country. Check out this beauty who chained herself to the fucking goal yesterday afternoon.
Another protester here,
and I believe she's herself to the stanchion.
She's chained herself to the stanchion.
The ball crew. And now they get the chain off and they're carrying her off.
The people in Memphis have no idea what's going on right now.
This lovely woman is named Zoe Rosenberg. Obviously, she's an original thinker. She is wearing the exact same t-shirt that was worn Tuesday night. How original. You could have at least been unique. maybe worn a shirt that said Glen Taylor's a bird fucker. Clearly, Zoe Rosenberg is not as committed to the cause as her colleague. You superglue your ass to the court. I mean, that's dedication. You know how much ass skin you lose pulling a superglued ass off an NBA court? You wouldn't be able to sit for a week. It'd be like having a bad hemorrhoid. Instead, Zozo decided to take the easy way out, and she simply chained herself to the goal. Zozo, that is not what I call dedication. I am disappointed in you. All you accomplished was bringing attention onto yourself and causing people to wonder, where are all the hot women from PETA? First of all, how in the hell did this happen? Not once, but twice in less than a week. Zoe Rosenberg disguised herself as a member of the ball crew. There are only a handful of members in the ball crew. How did no one notice her? And second, this is a terrible look for the NBA. I know this is not the NBA's fault. I mean, I guess we could blame their security or lack thereof, but I'm not going to blame the NBA for this. However, it is still a bad look for the league. The casual NBA fan, what is their biggest gripe with the league? What's the reason millions of casual NBA fans have quit watching? The constant protesting, the infusion of political issues into the NBA. Someone on Rumble commented on one of my NBA videos the other day. They said, enjoy the Pelicans game Friday night, but I refuse to watch the NBA until they remove the Black Lives Matter from the court. The NBA hasn't had Black Lives Matter on the court in almost 2 years. Obviously, that person has paid zero attention to the NBA since 2020, and there are millions more just like them. We talked a lot during the regular season about the NBA only making news for what happens off the court. We're in the playoffs now, where 100% of the focus should be on the games. Instead, these fucking protests are some of the bigger stories right now in the NBA. Even though this is not the NBA's fault, do you think the casual fans that aren't paying attention to the league know that? Most people only read headlines. They don't read entire articles unless they're extremely interested. If the casual NBA fan sees the headline, animal rights protest at NBA playoff game, because of the reputation the league has created for itself, they're naturally going to assume it's another NBA-sponsored protest. Look, I have a soft spot for animals. I know the antics of groups like PETA or Direct Action Everywhere are ridiculous. They're outlandish. Unlike other woke groups who I wish just would cease to exist, I'm actually glad we have organizations fighting for animals. Like I said, I have a soft spot for them. Animals, women, and children. That's my soft spot. Sorry to my dudes out there, you can fend for yourselves. That's what men do. But animals, women, and children, they're defenseless. They need us or people to defend them. Now, I don't know if the report about Glen Taylor killing 5 million birds, I don't know if it's true or not. If it is true, it's deplorable. He supposedly killed them due to a flu outbreak. But is this really the best way to bring awareness to it? I said at the beginning of the video, timing is everything. Is the middle of an NBA playoff game really the time and place for an animal rights protest? Do you think your message was well received? Fuck no. If anything, you turn people away from supporting you because you're slowing down the game. You're pissing people off. People in attendance, they paid a shitload of money for those tickets. I just spent a good chunk of money myself for tickets to Game 3 Friday night in New Orleans. I didn't pay that money to see some lunatic superglue her ass to the court. Do you think the 18,000 people in attendance in Memphis saw this and immediately donated money to Direct Action Everywhere? You think the 1, maybe 2 million people watching on ESPN saw this and said, that woman is really dedicated. Let's save the birds. I'll donate. You are not going to get people to support you through force. The vast majority of people rebel against force. All these 2 women accomplished was bringing attention to themselves and having people call them a dumbass. That's it. You got your 15 minutes of fame. 48 hours from now, you'll be forgotten. There is a time and place for protesting. You want to organize an animal rights protest in the streets? Go for it. I mean, don't burn the fucking buildings down, but go for it. Protests have no place, though, during the NBA playoffs. But I will say this. The cause that these women are fighting for is a hell of a lot better than the fucking protest the NBA sponsored 2 years ago. Shutting down playoff games over Jacob fucking Blake. Worshipping George Floyd, treating him like he walked on water. At least these women actually believe in their cause. The NBA, they don't believe any of the political bullshit they promote. But let me know what you think. Do you think these two women were effective in their protest? Do you think this is a bad look for the NBA? Sound off in the comments below. Make sure to like and subscribe. Click the notification bell to receive all notifications from the channel. Best way to contact me is by email at btlkc84@gmail.com, KC_BTL84 on Twitter. I'll see you guys tomorrow.